What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with the week's hottest topics. So this is going to be the hot topics for the week of December the 10th through December the 16th, you guys. So before we go ahead and just jump into these hot topics, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed to the channel yet, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it. At the end of it, you guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on those post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us talk about what is hot and what is trending for this week, shall we? All right, you guys, so just like last week, we're starting up on a very, very sad note. So we got to say rest in peace to Steven Twitch Boss. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Twitch, Twitch was on So You Think You Can Dance. I know at one point he was on there as a contestant, and then I know he went back and I think he was a judge on the show. Now, I've never really watched So You Think You Can Dance. I'm more familiar with Twitch from him being Ellen's DJ on the Ellen Show, because you guys remember at first she had the black guy Tony, but I don't know what happened to Tony. For a long time she had guest DJs, and then they officially brought Twitch on as the DJ. And I love Twitch, right? So Twitch this week, I can't remember which day it was, but it was one day. It was Wednesday. I actually remember the day. It was Wednesday when I saw that, because we were having an office Christmas party, and it was a good time, you know. Had a little drinky drink, saw my gym. So let's just say, I'm gonna get back to Twitch in just a second, but let me just segue really quickly. So someone that works in my company now is someone that I used to see at my gym. I had a huge crush on. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? Like, do I say something? Do I say hi? Am I gonna be Latilius and Amy Robach? Like, I don't wanna be that. But yeah, so I saw it Wednesday. I saw it actually before we went to the party, and it was just so devastating. So if you guys don't know the story, Twitch, his wife went to the police station because, you know, Twitch had left. And I think she said he left his car and everything. So turns out he went to a hotel. I don't know what hotel he went to, but you know, they heard gunshots there, right? And then they went to his room, and there he was with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And it's terrible, because you don't know what people are really going through. It's just, because this is the second time this month. No, yeah, it is, because I know Jason David Frank earlier in the month, or either late November, he took his own life. And you just wonder, people sometimes suffer in silence, and I will be one to admit that I sometimes suffer in silence, right? So I just wonder, I know that, and I did read that he left a note, right? So I don't know what the note said, but it said that he had been dealing with some past issues, and I guess he just couldn't get past that. I'm gonna look up the suicide prevention hotline. I think you can text 998 or 988, but I'll have it correct on the screen when I edit this. Hopefully I remember. But yeah, if anybody out there is struggling with that, it's okay. Talk to somebody. It'll be okay. Like, and I'm gonna put myself in. I'm gonna use myself as a prime example, right? So I've never told you guys. I may have mentioned it here or there, but I've never really 100% told you guys this, right? So that is something that I definitely have struggled with in my lifetime, right? And I really more so struggled with it in the last 5 years since my mom passed away. Because before my mom passed away, I never really struggled with it. I was always happy-go-lucky, right? But over the last 5 years, that has been something that has really crept into my head. I'll tell you guys, the first time I attempted it, it was in 2017, and it was just a week after her birthday, right? I tried it then. It was completely unsuccessful. And so over the last year or two, it's just the thoughts that come into my head, and I have to just, it's really, really difficult, because because the last time it happened to me, which was this time last year. So I'll tell you guys why. When it comes to me, I'm typically a happy person, right? But you guys know the events that happened for me. I had lost my job. I had to move out of my old apartment, right? And it took a while before I could find a job. So those were the things that I was dealing with. The fact that I had nowhere to. I was staying with family, but I really didn't have anywhere that I could call my own. I didn't have a job. I was doing, I was doing Uber as a form of money, but it wasn't. It was coming in every week, but it wasn't a whole. Actually, it was good money, but it was the fact that I was having to drive between my hometown and Dallas to make the money. So by the time I got home, I didn't have very much money to myself. So that's where I was struggling with. So it would just be little thoughts that come into my head, and it would be like, it would just be so much easier if this was just over and done with, right? But then I always kept, but then, how people say you have, the good angel and the bad angel. That's kind of how it felt for me last year. I could part of my brain could rationalize and be like, no, you don't need to do this because this is only temporary. It's not going to last forever. You're going to eventually get out of this situation, right? But then the other side of my brain was like, no, like I've been doing this for a full year and nothing has changed, right? But the good side of the brain, the rational side of my brain that said it's not gonna last forever. It prevailed, and I'm so happy that it did prevail because look at me now, right? New apartment, been at my job almost a year now, so I'm really happy that I, didn't have to, go down that rabbit hole, right? So like I said, anybody who is in fact dealing with that, I'm praying for you. Like I said, there's help out there. Don't feel like you're alone. There's help out there. And like I say to myself, what's happening currently in your life is it's not a permanent fixture. It's not permanent. Things can things can change. The only thing that is permanent, unfortunately, is death. That is permanent. And even if like for me, even if you've lost someone, find, just remember that your loved one would not want that for you. They would want you to carry on and live on. Like my mom and I had a conversation before she passed away, long before she passed away, where, she was talking about she wanted me to date and find somebody that would make me happy and, be there for me when she wasn't here. And we had that conversation. I said, let's not talk about that, right? She's like, well, Jerome, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm like, I know that, but let's not talk about that. And then, I actually told her, for me, and I still do mean it, but I know it can't happen now. I told her, I actually want to go before you because I don't want to live the rest of my life without you. And she started crying. She started crying because she said, Jerome, I've lived my life. I want you to live yours. And I was like, what? And I still feel this way. Like, what much am I living? I still feel that way. What am I really living for? I know what I'm living for, but I just still sometimes think to myself, I don't have my mom here to, share, big moments that are happening in my life. If I want to have kids, get married, things like that. She's not here to celebrate those moments with me. And I know people will probably say, yeah, she's not here physically, but she is here spirit. She's still here in spirit. I know that, you guys. You don't have to tell me that. But I appreciate it if you guys put it in the comments. If you guys do put that in the comments, I do appreciate it, guys. So Twitch, I hope and pray that, whatever you were going through, I hope now that, this has been done. I hope at least now that his spirit is at peace. I pray for him, his spirit. I pray for his wife, his 3 children. That's the most devastating part, is that he left his wife and children behind. He was 40 years old, very young. I just really feel so sorry for him, It must have been and what people don't know is that when you deal with those thoughts, it's very, very, very debilitating. It hits you like a ton of bricks. So yeah, we're gonna send a prayer up for Twitch, his wife, and his children, and all those who loved and adored him, you guys. But we're gonna pause here, and we're gonna move on to the next story, shall we? All right, you guys. So the next story, let's just laugh a little bit, you guys. So I was on Twitter this week, right? And I saw that Lil Fizz was trending. I was like, why the hell is Fizz trending? Of all people, Fizz. So people like, did y'all see the picture of Fizz? And I saw everybody on my timeline saying, ain't nobody saw the picture of Fizz. Ain't nobody saw the picture of Fizz. And then there was this one Twitter page that quote retweeted the picture, and I was like, what the hell do I have to lose? What is this about Lil Fizz? What the fuck was that? So now I knew Fizz had an OnlyFans, and I think, like when people post stuff on their OnlyFans, it does show up on my timeline. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, right? So he had showed up on my timeline previously, and I was like, okay. So this time he popped up again, and I was like, oh wow, okay. So this time, the first time everybody saw his dingling, and I was like, oh, not what I wanted to see. Then this time it's his asshole. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? That thing was like this, and it was puffy. I was like, they were clowning Fizz, talking about a raisin in the sun. I cracked up the whole time looking at that damn. I just went down a rabbit hole of what people were saying about him on my timeline because it was hilarious. The comments that they were making, people like, oh yeah, Fizz done been penetrated before. I was like, oh my god, it was hilarious. So then Fizz came out and said, now he came out and said that wasn't him. That people are just doing that, women are just coming at him. I was like, sir, it was, unless somebody hacked you and found somebody else's asshole and just put it up there, that was you. And it took you about a day or two to even say that wasn't you. Child, even his baby mama Moniece had something to say. I cracked. Now, her comment was funny. Can't remember what she said, but girl, that shit was funny. That shit was hella funny to me. I was like, wow, the loving. Well, you know what? He ain't been on, Hollywood. That doesn't come on. They haven't. I don't even think they still filming for Hollywood, right? Because the only thing that they have now is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Miami, and the Family Reunion. So I don't even believe Love and Hip Hop New York or Hollywood are ever coming back. I hope they do though, because that was my shit. Hollywood was my shit, right? But damn. But you know what? To come to think of it, a lot of those reality TV stars, when the pandemic first hit, a lot of them went to OnlyFans. Fizz. Oh God, this one is one I just wish I never saw. Zell Swag, he went to OnlyFans. Y'all know Evelyn Lozada went to OnlyFans. She did feet porn. I wouldn't support her even if she did wigs. So yeah, I'm like, damn, them chicks really have dried up, huh? And I won't even say that the checks have dried up. You done blew through that money. Whatever VH1 and Mona Me Production was paying y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and say you just blew through that money, bro, because you were on Love and Hip Hop. I'm not Miami. You were on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood you were on there since season one, two, three, 4, 5, 6. You were on there for 6 damn seasons. How much, like, I honestly wonder, how much did they pay them to act a damn plum fool on Love and Hip Hop? Like, I always wanted Love and Hip Hop to come to Dallas or to Houston so that way I could go and try to finagle my way onto Love and Hip Hop, but I knew I wasn't gonna act the damn fool. But and I know that they did try to do Houston, but Houston showed the hell out. So they said, forget Houston and we dipping out, right? But I just wonder, what the hell was Love and Hip Hop paying y'all? Were they paying y'all $1,000 a week, or were they paying y'all $500 a week? Like, cause if you guys remember, so it's so funny. Like back in the day, Bad Girls Club, right? I knew people who went. My friend, my cousin, my best friend. Everybody was like, oh, everybody watched Bad Girls Club, they would be like, we gonna audition. They were gonna, not me, cause I wasn't gonna, I can't do Bad Girls Club, cause I'm a man. But they were like, they want to audition, right? And then I found out, like, I actually found out season, what was it? I think it was season 8 or 9 when I found out what the girls actually made. And I don't know how I found out, but I found out that the girls made about $500 every week. They would pay them at the end of each week $500, right? Because people, I know people back in the day thought that if the girls stayed on the show longer, that they would make more money, right? Technically, if they made it to the finale, that they would get a big check. I'm like, that's not really what it is. I'm like, the only shows that do that is like, reality, like Big Brother and stuff like that. But I knew with Bad Girls Club, I'm like, nah, they get paid at the end of the week, and when they get paid, they have to buy their stuff. And now that part I didn't find out until recently, but I knew that with Bad Girls Club, they were only making about $500 a week. I knew that. And again, I don't know how I knew that because I knew nothing about reality. I knew very little about reality TV. Actually, you know what? I know how I found out. So see, here's the thing that people don't read. Like, when you apply for these reality TV shows, read that fine print. Like, that's my whole thing. Read the goddamn fine print, because that's what it was. Because my best friend wanted to audition for Bad Girls Club, but I read the fine print, and in the fine print, it actually did tell you that you get a weekly stipend, and it told you how much it was. I was like, $500? No. But again, people wanted to go on TV and be, think they were going to be quasi-famous, and look at them now. Some of them are still chasing that fame. Natalie Nunchin. But hey, I segued. But yeah, let's pause here and move on to the next story, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about this story with Derrick Jaxn, his wife. So I don't know if I spoke on Derrick Jaxn before. I don't believe I maybe did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. When she came up with that helmet of salvation, and she looked every bit like a distressed wife. Like, I was like, sis, blink. Well, come to find out, Derrick Jaxn and his wife are getting a divorce. And I think he's the one that initiated the divorce. I'm like, ain't that about a bitch, right? Y'all, see, here's my thing when it comes to, because you guys, now I know we definitely talked about this. Like, we talked about Derrick Jaxn and we talked about Kevin Samuels, right? Don't take relationship advice from people that you don't. First of all, don't take relationship. Let me see how I want to say this. First of all, I want to say that no relationship is perfect, right? Nobody's relationship is perfect. So that's the first thing to say. I would only take relationship advice from someone that is. I would take relationship advice from someone that has done the work, right? And when I say done the work, like gone to, got the education, has, basic, has education, know what they're talking about. Because again, like I stated, no marriage is perfect, no relationship is perfect. Every relationship has its ups, its downs, its peaks, its valleys, its ebbs, and its flows, right? So every relationship has issues. It's really how you get through that to get to the other side is what matters, right? So if I go sit down with someone and they want to portray that their marriage is perfect, that is a red flag right in itself for me, because once again, nobody's marriage is perfect. Now, if you come to me and say, hey, yeah, my wife and I, my husband and I, we've been together for 18, 19 years. We've had some struggles. We were homeless at one point. We both didn't, she wasn't working and I was supporting her, or he wasn't working and I was supporting him, or XYZ, or, he cheated on me. And I had to, dig deep in myself to figure out who I was and if I want to stay in this relationship or whatever. If you tell me that you've had issues and you show me how you worked through those issues, I'm like, okay, this is somebody that I can sit down and listen to and seek counsel from, right? But if you go on now see, when it comes to the social media, relationship gurus and experts, I don't take them seriously, right? Because everything that glitters ain't gold, right? Because people get on social media and they portray what they want you to see. So people get on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and I'll even use myself an example. I get on this camera sometimes and I be joking, and sometimes I don't be in the best mood, right? I be upset about certain things, but I get on this camera and I laugh and joke as if I'm in a sometimes it helps me get into a better mood. Sometimes it doesn't. It just be me doing like, okay, I gotta do this video, so let's cheer it up just a little bit and get through it, right? So yeah, but I mean, you guys can, but most times you guys know when I'm upset because I'll tell you guys, I have no problem with saying that. But there are other people, like I said, who will post these pictures, happy family, team wife, team husband, team this, team that, just want to make it look like they're in a happy place, right? But behind the scenes, upset, angry, miserable, hate each other, fighting in front of the kids, doing all of this stuff, or staying in the relationship for the kids. That is the worst part to me, is when people stay in their toxic ass relationships for the kids. The children can feel that. The children are then affected by that shit. So please stop doing that, right? But yeah, so this week, Derek Jackson and his wife, they're getting a divorce, right? Then I saw him, he got another woman. I'm like, ooh. And people listen to him. See, I never knew about Derek Jackson until earlier this year when people started talking about him and her with that video with that helmet of salvation on. I was just like, oh God. And I know she made a post about, people talking about her relationship. Ma'am, you and your soon-to-be ex-husband put your relationship out there, not us. So and that's my whole thing when it comes to people, when you put your relationship out there for the public to see, and then when the public sees that it's not what you wanted the public to believe, then you get mad and be like, oh, y'all want to judge this, y'all want to do that, y'all want to do this. Ain't nobody really just judging. They just been like, oh, okay, so you guys weren't as perfect as you guys wanted to play it off and portray yourselves as. That's the only thing that, I think about, right? But hey, they're not together. They're not going to be together, and it is what it is. Once again, you guys, vet out the people that if you guys are going to take any kind of advice from, especially if you're in a relationship and you're going to take a relationship advice from somebody, just vet the person out, right? Vet them. Make sure that they know what they're talking about. Make sure that they didn't get their credentials from YouTube. No shade to anybody who does it on YouTube, but just make sure that they have hell, like I just said earlier, let me know tell me yours. You don't necessarily have to tell me your story, but show me that you in fact know what the hell you're talking about, right? And that's all I got to say. But let's pause here and let's move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So the next story is, I guess we can say, congratulations to Diddy. Diddy welcomed another baby into the world. Her name, he has a new baby with one of his many girlfriends. The baby's name is Love Sean Combs. That's actually a very pretty name. Very pretty name. Yeah, he had a baby. It's not with Caresha. But, Caresha doesn't seem like she is upset or anything. I know, now here's my thing. This is one person that I just don't understand why people even listen to what he says. DJ Akademiks. DJ Akademiks is a weak ass man, in my personal opinion. He always attacks women. And men, I guess, that he is not afraid of, right? Because earlier this week, Luca from Grownish made a comment about him attacking women, right? And he had a whole lot of things to say about Luca. Baby, I want somebody to just catch DJ Akademiks out, catch him outside. Please catch him outside. That's all I got to say about Akademiks. Catch his ass outside, right? So people were like, "Oh my God, Diddy and Caresha." Caresha put up that post of that girl. Oh my God, that white girl that looked like I can't do her face, but she with the tattoos and all that kind of stuff. I think Caresha's she gonna be fine, right? I don't. Now, when it comes to Diddy, Caresha, and the harem of women that he surrounds himself with, they're gonna be fine. If they like it, I love it, right? For Carisha, I just don't want her to get so head over heels for him, right? I don't want Carisha to be like Cassie. That's my only thing. I don't want her to be like Cassie because Cassie damn near gave Diddy all of her good years, but luckily enough, when she got out of that relationship with Diddy, she met her husband and had her kids. So Cassie, ain't her last name now Fine? Isn't that her husband's last name Fine? Cassie Fine, I believe that's her name. Cassie is fine. She's happy. I just want the same for Carisha, right? If Carisha is with Diddy and Carisha is just, having fun with Diddy, he taking her on trips, buying her these gifts, girl, get it how you live. I ain't hating on it, right? I'm not. I'm really not. And I like Carisha. Carisha is a ball of fun from what I see on social media. Carisha is a ball of fun, and I would love to hang out with Carisha, right? One thing about Carisha is, girl, I just want, when it comes to the rapping, get on beat. That's my only thing when it comes to Carisha is, girl, get on beat. But other than that, like I said, he has a baby. It is what it is. Hell, these women know about each other, right? They know about each other. Now, I know some of them probably want to be the number one in his life, but y'all do know that y'all are not going to be number one in his life. He going to have number one. Well, he's probably going to have one girl that he be with on Monday. I'm going to be with you on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we rotate it the next week. I don't know. Or we rotate it by hour. I don't know. But, so for academics to call Carisha a side piece, she's definitely, anybody can see that she's definitely not the side piece. I don't think he has any side pieces. I just think he has a flavor of the week. That's really what it gives. He has a flavor of the week. But if these girls like it, I love it, right? Like, it ain't nobody getting hurt. Again, for Carisha, I just don't want her to end up like Cassie. That's all I say is I just don't want you to be Cassie. Get what you need out of this relationship, and once it no longer suits you, dip. Like, I'm cool with that, right? And I also kind of hope, but I doubt that she is, dead on the side. Like, he got other women, girl, have you another man, right? It is what it is, right? I ain't worried about it. If Carisha ain't worried about it, JB ain't worried about it. If Carisha's cool, JB is cool, right? And congratulations are in order to Diddy and the new baby and the mother of the child. That's all we gotta say is congratulations, 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 you guys. So let's pause here and let's move forward. All right, you guys. So the next story we're gonna talk about is Mark Curry. So I forgot was he at the Wyndham Hotel? I forget which hotel it was he was at, right? But the only reason why I know about it is because I saw that Holly Robinson Pete, I don't know if she tweeted about it or if it was on her Instagram, but I saw it from Holly Robinson Pete where Mark Curry was doing a performance he was doing a performance, right? So he was at the hotel bar, I believe. If I got it wrong, you guys will correct me. But I know somebody walked up to him and asked him, now see, here's my thing. Why do people walk up to black people and ask black people, like I've had people do it to me before, are you staying here? The one thing that I hate from people is when I'm just sitting somewhere, do you need help? Do you need help? Do you need help? Bitch, if I'm sitting here and if I needed help, I would have come to you and asked you for help, right? I'm just sitting here minding my own business. Leave me alone, right? But I know why some people do. Now some people do it. They do come to you and just say, "Do you need anything?" They're legitimately asking, "Do you need anything?" But some people will walk up to you and ask you, "Do you need help? Can I help you with anything? Are you okay?" Like they're doing that because they see a black person and they're like, "Oh my God, is he supposed to be here? Is he a thug? Is he gonna rob the place? Is he gonna do this? Is he gonna do that?" Right? Like I told you, I think I may have given you guys a brief story time about the time that I was racially profiled. Like it was in Wet Seal. Wet Seal. Now, if I, when was this? I was profiled in what I was racially profiled in Wet Seal in 2000 and I don't remember when I was profiled, but it was the early 2000s. Well, no, not early 2000s. It was the late 2000s, like '07, '08, '09. So, no, it was '07 or '08, right? So I can't remember who I was with. Either I was with my cousin or I was with my best friend. Nope, that's who I was with. I was my best friend. My best friend Jazz at the time, Jasmine, and we're still cool. We're not best friends anymore, but we're still cool. Jasmine and my best friend, my best friend that I always tell you guys about. We were cause they were going out to the club we were going out to the club for the night, so they needed to find something to wear, right? So they were in the store shopping, and I was behind one of my, they were looking at the pans, and I was behind one of them. I was actually behind both of them at one point particular time, but then one of them went to the dressing room to try some clothes on, so I was behind my other friend, right? So there was this little girl, there was this young white girl who kept following me around. And I asked her, I'm like, why are you following me? Because she pretended like she kept pretending as if she was fixing something on the racks, but the racks were fine. And I just kept noticing her following me. She wasn't following nobody else. She never even asked me if I needed help, right? She just kept following me. So I told my friend, I'm like, I think she's following me, and I don't know why. And I asked her one more time. I said, why are you following me? I'm like, there ain't shit in here that I'm going to steal. I can't wear anything in here. And I said it loud enough for her to hear me. I said, I don't know why you're following me, because there ain't shit in this store that I can wear. I can't put my big ass foot in one of these heels, and I damn sure can't put my big ass thighs and ass in these pants. I cannot wear your clothes, so I don't understand why you are following me. And I asked her, I'm like, why are you following me? She never acknowledged that she was following me, but it was very evident that she was following me, right? So my friends didn't get I was like, are y'all getting anything out of here? They said, no. I said, we can go then, right? So on my way out the door, there was a table that had skinny jeans on it, right? So what I did was I told her, I said, hey, since you want to follow me so badly, how about you follow these skinny jeans into the mall? So I took my hand and I slid all of them into the mall, and I just threw them in the mall. I said, come follow that. You can follow that instead. Because I took that whole table and I just threw all of them into the mall. And I told her to follow that. Since you want to follow me so badly, follow your skinny jeans right out this damn store. My mama was pissed at me. She was like, Jerome, they could have arrested you. I said, well, she was following me. So I was being racially profiled. And I'm like, this is a woman's clothing store. I weigh 180 pounds. I'm like, I weigh 180 pounds. I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8", 5'9". I wear a size 12 in men's shoes. What the fuck am I gonna buy at this goddamn store? Yeah, I wear a size 12, you guys. Actually, I wear a size 13 now. Like, what the fuck am I gonna wear in this goddamn store? I can't put my foot in them them little bitty ass heels. I can't wear any kind of pants in here unless you don't go up to a size 10 or 11. I don't have boobs, so what am I gonna buy? And I kept asking her more than once, why are you following me? So this is back to the story with Mark. The guy asked him about his key and all this kind of stuff, and it's just like, why do y'all do that kind of stuff? And I'm like, so y'all don't know who Mark Curry is? Like, that was what threw me, the fact that y'all don't know who Mark Curry is. But he got on live. I hope nobody goes to that damn hotel. Boycott that hotel. Do whatever you got to do to that hotel. It's fucked up. But let's pause here, you guys, and let's wrap up the topics, shall we? All right, you guys. So I saved the best for last, I guess you would say, right? So this week, the case started between Kelsey Nicole, Megan Thee Stallion, and Tory Lanez. What is his name? Daystar. So this case has been very interesting, to say the least, right? So I don't. So you guys know I love me some Megan Thee Stallion. I love Meg, right? But listening to this case, Nobody is innocent in this situation, right? Because it's a lot of stuff with this case. It's a whole lot of stuff with this. So you guys know this thing happened back in what was it, June of 2020, I believe. I believe, mind you, we were in the middle of a damn pandemic and y'all niggas cutting the fool out there, right? So you guys remember that they went over to Kendall Jenner's house, right? And at the time, we thought it was a party, but it was a small kickback. And even back then, when they said they went to Kendall Jenner's, well, June of 2020, it was June or July, right? So 2020. Okay, I was just about to, by the summer of 2020, they had started to lift the man. They had started to, that was when you could go into places. That was when you could go into places, and it still was at like 50%. And I know sooner they got to where they can get to 80%, and then they got to full. Now everything is back at full capacity, right? Um, yeah, I think so, right? I think I'm right. But so the story now we're learning a little bit. I don't know everything, but I'm gonna give you guys what I kind of know, right? So I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know any of this shit to be true, right? So from what I've heard, I know Meg got on the stand, and I felt bad for her, right? Because she was talking about the fact that she knew that Kelsey, had a little thing for Tory, right? And she and Tory they had messed around, which I think we all kind of knew that she and Tory had messed around, and yo, it looks bad from all angles, right? It looks bad from all angles because if Tory and Kelsey at one point were messing around with each other, Kelsey went back home because she had COVID, right? And Meg and him started messing with each other. It's kind of junky and fucked up that you messing with your homegirls, man. But then he fucked up and he's fucked up as well for doing it. So at the party now, you guys know that it was a big ruckus and Kendall or Kylie, whichever one of them Jenner girls said go, yeah, they got to leave, right? So the story was that I guess he was flirting with the Jenner girl and Meg didn't like that, so they got in the car, they left, and then but came back, but then he left with them, and somehow they go about telling Kelsey what happened between them. So he called them some bitches and some hoes. And Meg said she got out the car. I could be getting this wrong, and I know he said that she told him. She said that he told her, "Dance, bitch," and started shooting at her feet. Right. So that's that. Then Kelsey got on the stand. So mind you, Kelsey had done an interview with them. They had interviewed Kelsey. Kelsey had said that Tory paid for a lawyer and all this kind of stuff. She saw him shoot at Meg. She saw him shoot Meg. But then she gets on the stand. She asked for immunity, but then they granted her immunity, right? But then she gets on the stand and they start asking her these questions. She doesn't know. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't recall. And then they play the stuff. I'm like, girl, you just sitting here lying on the god dang on stand. That is called perjury. And you know that you can do time for perjury. Just want you to know that, Kelsey. And I know that they played the record. I know they played her diss track. I was like, girl, she made a diss track. That part I did not know that Kelsey had made a diss track. Um, the one thing that I did feel bad for when Meg was like, everything that she's dealt with since that happened, which has been 2 years now, right? Everything that she's dealt with, she says she wished that he had just taken her life at that point. I was like, oh no, Meg. Like, I know people, and I see it on social media how people, vilify Meg, but make Tory out to be this saint and this martyr, right? Now, I do know that they were talking about the gunpowder residue, right? I do know that I saw, I don't know if it was today or yes. I don't know if it was yesterday, right? It might have been yesterday that I saw this. Can't remember when I saw it, but I actually it was last night when I saw it. So they were talking about the fact that with the gun, I believe I read that they said his fingerprints weren't on it, but there was a woman's fingerprints on it. But then I also saw that where it said the data was inconclusive. I was like, so which one is it? And I'm like, so wait a minute now. So what y'all trying to? So wait. Are we trying to now trying to spin this? Because I know Kelsey pled the fifth on the stand, and pleading the fifth is when you don't want to incriminate yourself into something, right? So I'm like, wait a minute. So y'all finna sit here and try to tell me that Kelsey is the one that shot at Meg? Like, it's just confusing. But we gonna keep our good eye. We gonna keep our eyes on this case. It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, because it's gonna go for. This is gonna be an interesting trial to see how it plays out. I know I saw somebody said, I wish they had a camera in there so we could see this. Like, ooh. I'm just so stuck on Kelsey, right? Because Kelsey had been in the blogs for the last 2 years or so, talking about wait until the trial. And girl, we get to the damn trial and you are tight-lipped, right? You don't know. You want to plead the fifth in certain things. It's just like, girl, what really fucking happened, right? Like, I just want to know what the hell happened. Like I said a minute ago, the issue that I really do have in this situation is the fact that people have completely vilified Meg. Now, granted, we know that Meg didn't initially she hasn't told the 100% truth. She didn't start out telling the truth, right? So we know that. But like we always say about when we talk about people who are victims of domestic violence, most times they ridicule, victimize, they ridicule and they victim blame, victim shame, attack the woman. But then when it comes to the man, you want to uplift him, you want to make him a saint, make him a martyr and all this kind of stuff. Kind of like what I said previously about, you know, the situation with Rihanna and Chris Brown. I know I've talked about that multiple times when there was a girl in my class who kept trying to justify what he did to her by saying, well, she gave him herpes. And I hate when people come up with these rumors or, you know, find any kind of justification for that. And it goes both. I don't want it to make it seem like it's just, I'm saying this for women. It goes both ways, right? I'm not saying that a woman can't abuse a man the same way a man can abuse a woman. But more times than not, when it comes to a woman who is a victim of domestic violence, they always get the short end of the stick. They always get attacked. It's always the woman this. Well, what did she do to him? What did she do to him? What was she saying? Oh, she a hoe. Oh, she was effing his homeboy. She was doing this. She was doing that. It's always what the woman did and what the woman didn't do, right? But it's never the man. And Napoleon over here, he got an issue. Little Napoleon complex man over here got an issue. He has an anger issue. Like, let's put that on the forefront. Tory Lanez has a Napoleon complex. The man has an anger issue. So yes, I believe. Oh God, I don't know what I believe, but there's some truth in what I think. There's some truth somewhere in what every party is saying. I don't know about Tory, but there's some truth somewhere in what people are trying to say. I feel like certain people are saying things to kind of cover their own ass just a little bit. Kelsey. I feel like Kelsey's trying to say some things to cover her ass. I don't know what Kelsey did, but she did something. I ain't saying she shot her, but she did something. She did something and so did he. So it's something like, and here's the question. Here's the other question that I have, right? Was there a struggle over the gun? I don't know. But then Meg said he told her to dance, bitch. So I just don't know what's what. But I want you guys to tell me in the comment section what you guys think. And that is all we got for this week. Let me know what you guys thought about each and every topic that we've discussed this week. like the video, you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask. Be blessed. And I will catch you guys in the next one. So we do this every single week. Same time, same place, same channel. And I am your same host. So I will catch you guys later for Love After Lockup. So we have a new season of Love After Lockup. And we also have the season finale. Praise the Lord for the season finale of Love and Marriage Huntsville, you guys. So that is it, and I will see you guys later. So next week is Christmas Eve, you guys. So I'm gonna try to have this video up for you guys. My hope and goal is to have the video up by Thursday or Friday is what I'm shooting for. I'm aiming for Thursday or Friday, but you guys know me. So we'll see. We will see you guys, but I'll catch you guys later. Oh yeah, forgot. So yeah, Love and Marriage Huntsville season finale tonight. So you guys will see, you'll see Love and Marriage Huntsville, the season finale. You will see the Love After Lockup, and you'll see Real Housewives of Potomac. So I'll catch you guys later.